Every compiler had a first version, so how do you compile a brand new programming language before any compiler for it exists? Here's the paradox: a modern Rust compiler is written in Rust, a modern Go compiler is written in Go, but you can't compile Rust source code without a working Rust compiler, and you can't build that compiler without compiling Rust source code. It sounds like a contradiction, but it isn't. It's magic. No, nothing about it is magical. Compilers don't build themselves out of nowhere. Could you handwrite raw machine code for the whole thing? Technically, yes, and early language designers sometimes did exactly that, but it's slow and painful at any real scale. The actual answer is bootstrapping. You use a completely different, already working language to build the very first version of your new compiler, and from there the new language takes over. Almost every serious production compiler alive today, from C to Rust to Go, was bootstrapped using this exact trick. So let's define the term precisely. Bootstrapping a compiler means writing a compiler for language X using language X itself as the implementation language. The compiler takes source code written in X and produces some target, usually machine code or another intermediate form, and critically, the compiler's own source is also written in X. That circular relationship is the whole idea. Sounds strange at first, but it's incredibly powerful because the compiler becomes both the tool you use to build software and a giant real-world test case for the language itself. Every new feature added to the language gets exercised immediately because the compiler's own codebase depends on it. This is sometimes called self-hosting, and it's the end goal of a bootstrap compiler, but you don't get there in one step. You need a starting point, a way to compile that very first version before the language can compile anything at all. That starting point is usually called stage 0. Here's how it works. You write a minimal, often deliberately limited version of your new language's compiler, but you write that first version in a completely different, already established host language. Commonly see this host compiler takes your new language's source code and produces a working binary that can actually run on real hardware. That binary is stage 0. It doesn't need to be fast, elegant, or even feature complete. It just needs to correctly compile a small, well-defined subset of the new language, just enough syntax and semantics to build something bigger. Historically, this stage has been handwritten in assembly, built with an unrelated existing compiler, or in some ambitious cases, even bootstrapped from a tiny hand-assembled machine code loader. Whatever the method, the goal is identical: get one working binary that can compile at least a little bit of the new language reliably. Now for the interesting part. Once stage 0 exists, you write a second, much more complete version of the compiler, and this time you write its source code in the new language itself, not the host language. You feed that new source code into your stage 0 binary and it compiles it into stage 1. Stage 1 is a genuine milestone. It's a compiler for the new language, built entirely by compiling the new language's own source code. The compiler has just compiled itself for the first time. This is the exact moment a language becomes self-hosting. From here, the host language and stage 0 can largely step aside. Every future improvement to the compiler gets written in the new language and gets compiled by the previous stage's binary. The bootstrap has closed the loop and the language is now standing on its own. In practice, this process repeats a few more times before it's finished. Stage 0, built with the host language, compiles the real compiler source into stage 1. Stage 1, now feature complete, compiles that same source again into stage 2, this time with full optimizations enabled. Stage 2 compiles the source one more time into stage 3. Compiler engineers watch closely for one specific outcome: when a stage produces output that is byte for byte identical to the stage before it. That's the fix point. It proves the compiler can reproduce itself exactly, with no drift, no host language dependency left influencing the output, and no lingering bugs from earlier, more primitive stages. Many real build systems, including GCCs, run this exact 3 or 4 stage comparison automatically and treat a mismatch as a serious compiler bug worth investigating immediately. You can see this pattern across nearly every major language. GCC was bootstrapped in C and has been self-hosting in C and C++ for decades. Rust's very first compiler was actually written in OCaml, and only later rewritten in Rust itself, at which point it became self-hosting. Go took a similar path. Its original compiler was written in C, and the whole toolchain was deliberately rewritten in Go for the Go 1.5 release. Not every language goes this route, though. CPython, the reference implementation of Python, has stayed written in C for its entire history, and that's a completely valid engineering choice too. Not every language needs to bootstrap itself to be considered mature or production-ready. Bootstrapping also has a famous dark side described by Ken Thompson in his 1984 lecture, Reflections on Trusting Trust. If a compiler builds itself, could a hidden backdoor build itself too forever? Thompson showed exactly how. A malicious compiler binary can be modified to detect when it's compiling its own source code and silently re-inject its backdoor into the freshly built copy. That new compiler binary carries the backdoor forward and re-injects it again the next time it compiles itself. The truly unsettling part is that the backdoor never has to appear anywhere in the human-readable source code you could review, audit, or diff. It hides entirely inside the compiled binary, propagating itself, invisible to anyone reading the compiler's actual source. So why go through all this trouble? Bootstrapping forces compiler authors to dogfood their own language relentlessly. They feel every roughage their users will feel, because their own compiler depends on it. It turns the compiler into the single largest, richest test case the language has, exercising real code paths at real scale every single build. And it lets the language and its own tooling evolve together. New features can be used to build the compiler itself almost as soon as they land. Bootstrapping is more than a clever trick to get a language off the ground. It's ongoing proof, rebuilt from source on every single release, that a language is solid enough to trust with its own compiler. Thanks for watching.